biggest factor, I'd say, with this Flame season. Just not consistent.
Conroy, it's time to cook. Get in the kitchen. It's time to start making some food.
Not just that he hits and is physical and has the name for that now, but he has a bit of a scoring touch.
Mackenzie Weegar is the best defenseman Calgary's had in a hot minute.
Ladies and gentlemen, happy Sunday. 1 month till Christmas Eve. We are living life pretty well. I'm happy. The Flames are happy. We're happy. Welcome back to Puck and Stuff Podcast, where we talk about puck and other stuff. And today we're going to be mentioning about our good old Calgary Flames and how they're getting our hopes up. Once again, the mediocrity continues. B-Dog, how are you doing on this fine winter day?
Doing pretty good. Yeah, we got dumped with a lot of snow. If you live in Alberta or anywhere in Canada, you're getting dumped with a lot of snow. So stay inside, stay safe on the roads, because obviously our plows can't clear them good enough. So
that's right. Our tax dollars need to go to other things. That's right.
Yep. Gotta love it. But hey guys, welcome back to the Flames Talk and the Puck and Stuff Podcast. So glad to be back. Obviously, last time we were here, we've talked about 12 games in, where the Flames had a really good start, started to decline down a little bit, but now we're back. And the team, you know what? I'm not complaining. It's entertaining hockey, and you gotta love that, especially for a team that had the expectations of a full rebuild. It's just nice to see that the young guys are playing good, especially a certain goaltender, which we'll get into later. But T-Dog, where should we start? I'm giving you the reins. Where would you like to start on this kind of episode?
Start the opening thoughts, maybe, and then we just kind of dig deeper.
Yeah.
Okay, so opening thoughts for me is, wow, it is something to behold to have a goalie. Two goalies, really. I think that the team plays better in front of Dan Wolf, Dustin Wolf. But I think Dan Vlador as well has played fantastic too. You know, and that is something that is so exciting in the retrospect of the future, is knowing that as young as Wolf is and how early his career he is in, he is playing like he has this experience in the NHL, 5 years his tenure, really. So that's been exciting to see. I think the defenses look better. I really think they've kind of clapped down. They seem to play better, I would say, in front of Wolf. But as well, Vladar too is making some crease saves when he can as well. It's nice having a 1A 1B scenario there. And yeah, I would just say I think the forward group needs to score a little more, because you cannot have defensemen who are defensively more or less defensively minded in their position and aren't really considered offensive defensemen to be top in your scoring. So I think that's something to think about as well. But overall, as a Flames fan, we be happy, man. You know, everyone's happy at the Dome because we win. We sweep the home stake there. So it's looking good right now, but we'll see what happens on a road trip and what happens kind of coming in the next few weeks here.
Yeah, I'm not going to say anything wrong about that, because the team's been doing really well. In the last episode, we were 12 games in. We just lost in the Battle of Alberta. Flames right now are on a 4-game win streak at home, which you love to see. Dustin Wolf has started in 3 of the 4 games against Nashville, where he got his first shutout of his career. Then we versed the Islanders with the shootout win, and he played a great game against the Rangers. And you couldn't complain about that. Then Dan Vladar played against Minnesota last night and won the game in a shootout. So you gotta love that. And it really just brings into the question, Dustin Wolf looks like the Calder winner as of right now, potentially. Because if you look at the league, Michkov is looking very promising with Philly right now, but compared to what Dustin Wolf's numbers is right now, it's a debate. It's a really big debate right now, because Dustin Wolf, with 8 wins and 2 losses on the season, has a goals against average of .233 and a save percentage of .926. That's impressive for a first-year guy that has dominated in almost every league he's been. First year in the NHL, full season, he looks good. I love to see it, and Vladar playing as well is playing absolute great. I love to see that from our goalies. The fact that we, in the whole league, pay less towards our goalies, they're first in 5-on-5 save percentage. That's crazy to me, because, like you said, we don't pay that much for our goalies right now, and they're playing spectacular. You love to see that. And I think what you said about the defense is pretty on the point. Yeah, I would say there's been moments where the defense haven't looked that strong in our own end, but overall, no complaints. You're right, forwards, they really need to start scoring, getting some points on the board, because it's showing the only player, projection-wise, to have over 50 points this season for the Flames is Anderson with 50 points. That's crazy to me. So if this team actually decides to be a playoff team, you need to start scoring some points, boys. That's what I'll say.
Yeah, like it's fun because going through this, you're riding the high, right? You're enjoying it. You want to watch the games. The games are actually entertaining.
Yeah.
It's just knowing. Okay, here's your scenario. You keep this up, and your goalies literally drag you into a wild card spot, or even one of the Pacific Division slots there. You go in the playoffs, but you can't score, and you've had this scoring problem all the time. Then you start to play some playoff teams who can score goals, and that's what they're known for. Like, how do you play against that, right? So, and then as well too, it's like Team Tank. You want to keep your draft pick because right, we're gonna lose a draft pick.
Yeah.
It's gonna suck, right? You just hope that draft pick isn't some absolute stud, right? Luckily, this year's draft doesn't seem to be as studded heavy as last year's was, or even when Langdon DuPont comes or Gavin McKenna. So that's something to look at. But hey, man, listen, James Hagens, who wouldn't want him? So that's something to kind of look into. Really, I think with this team, like, you just kind of have to ride the highs and stuff. I think what you see, or what you're seeing with this team is chemistry based. You know what? Well, you're seeing the difference of last year and the season before. I think there was some locker room cancer going around. Not a bit of chemistry, maybe a little bit of clicky. So that they might be true from the rumors that we heard, because it seems like the team is more kind of bought in and invested in what they're doing, having fun at the rink and stuff. So that seems to be a good sign. I mean, I guess my question for you is, like, I'm still kind of conflicted with this because I understand that it's like, yeah, we have a good season. We're not going to win the cup, right? That's not going to happen no matter what. But
No.
You make the playoffs. Like, are you willing to take the risk of another 2014-2015 season where it kind of screwed you up development-wise? Luckily, Conroy himself seems to know what he's doing when it comes to youth development and prospecting. I don't know if True Living understood that as much. I think he wanted to rush the process. So it's based on, like, what do you think? Do you want to go to another 2014-2015 scenario? Or do you want to just take some L's now so that come the new arena, you're a stud team and you're actually a team that's well represented in the playoffs?
Well, I think based off of that, I would definitely say I don't. It's kind of hard because so in 2014, 2015, the Flames at least had a few years where they had a top 5 pick, and we haven't had that yet. And I felt more comfortable in the 2014-15 season was because of those top 5 picks that we had that looked like they could have potentially became star players for us, which Monahan kind of did, and Bennett was a good support guy. But with this team this year, we don't technically have that. So I would feel more comfortable if the next 2 to 3 years we have those top 5 picks, and then a 2014-15 season happens. But because then, if you look in that scenario, you have an older Dustin Wolf, you have an older Matt Coronado, you have an older Connor Zari, and then the team kind of like looks better on paper, per se. Because if you look at the team, and I've heard Flames Nation even say this, if you look at the team, there's not that elite, scary player for the Flames yet. Like, you're noticing with Sharon Govich and Matt Coronado, per se, they got that shot, chef kiss with those shots. I love how they shoot the puck. But other than that, there's not a scary young elite player that the Flames really have. And that's why I'm really hoping that eventually we take a turn and start to suck, because even if I look at the Pacific standings right now, the Flames are second in the Pacific with 27 points in 21 games played. But if you look underneath, LA is 25 points, Edmonton's 24, Vancouver's 23, Seattle's 21, and even the Ducks have 19 points on the season with 19 games played. So I feel like the division could completely flip really quickly. It's too early to say that the Flames are going to finish exactly second or in a playoff spot, but it's entertaining hockey. That's what I think we should all take from this as Flames fans, that you're seeing the young guys really play well, and that's what you can take from it, that we're playing well, it's entertaining hockey to watch, and the young guys are showing the worth, but eventually you don't want to lose that pick. that Montreal pick, we have to finish bottom 10 in the league to have that pick. So I think that's necessary for this team. And I don't like it would be cool for a playoff run, but it's not going to go far. We're going to be frustrated in the offseason because we thought we could try this and it probably won't work. So I'm really hoping that it doesn't become that situation, but same time.
The positive that you can take when it comes to if you lose a draft pick, what you already have in your pipeline, the prospects is very promising. Right? Like just wait till Prake comes in, right? Just wait until even some of the younger guys on the Wranglers come in. I saw some stat too where the draft picks this year, like most of them are over point per games in their respective junior leagues.
Oh, yeah.
I think has been playing well too, and a few others. Like it's nice as knowing that you have that promise that's already there, right? And so seeing how Coronado's playing, right? What is he on pace for? 33 goals, I think it was. So like that's perfect, right? If
49 points on the season. Yeah.
Like if he, to me, it's a success if he gets 25 goals. That's my opinion on it. So you have that, right? And so at least the young guy, Zari, of course, and I think Pospisil, looked better last game. So I think he's going to eventually start taking some strides again to get back to his form. But it's nice knowing that the young guys in your prospect pool are performing well and whatever position they are in their career so far. So that's something you can take in hand. So if you do lose a draft pick, you can say, oh, well, we still have some room. But you're right. You need an elite forward. You need some sort of Kirill Kaprizov. You need some sort of, Macklin Celebrini potential. How do you get one? Draft. Maybe you get lucky if a Datsyuk comes in the 7th round again, or a Kucherov or a Johnny Hockey. But that's really rare to come by. So I think you just got to take it in stride. And I feel what is kind of always nerve-wracking for me with the way that this team is managed, and I wonder if this is an ownership thing, is they get a little bit of success and they just ride that wave. They ride it. They don't think about these consequences. They just ride it. And then and I feel like the team kind of held some of these consequences after losing in that 21-22 season in the playoffs. And so you're seeing some of that effect still. Like cap-wise, we're fine, but you're still seeing that when you look at the trades that were made, and you're going to eventually want to get rid of those, or you wish that performance was better. Now, there's nothing on Huberdeau because I actually think he's playing well. I think he's kind of unlucky. He's kind of an unlucky guy. But I think you have to remember to look, not tunnel vision, but you got to open the lens up a bit, because this team literally is 1 month away. Like, if they have a bad December, there's no playoffs. You have to literally play this kind of hockey the entire way to get into the playoffs. Because there's no way that this team, the way that they can't score goals, what is it, like average like 3 goals a game, less than 3 goals a game or something? Like this league isn't 2000s hockey anymore. This is 2020 hockey where teams are scoring 5+ goals a game to win. Like, look at the Jets, right? When they're not losing in Nashville.
Yeah.
Right?
I was going to say, the trap don't work in this era anymore, boys.
Yeah, exactly, right? So it's like, you got to do that. But, hey, man, take your positives you can. You just hope they keep consistent. But, yeah, you really can. If you want the playoffs, can't have a bad month. You really can.
Well, it's kind of funny that you mentioned the idea of tunnel vision right now, because if you kind of look, if you're the GM like Conroy is right now, you're kind of looking like this right now, because if you look at our cap space, we have the 3rd most cap space in the league, and we're still performing this well to this level. So it shows that how many rookies and AHL players came up this season and were hungry for a roster spot, and they've been proving it all season long so far. So you just gotta love to see that. And that's a big positive I'm going to take out of this episode, is the fact that those young guys and the guys that are getting called up, like Justin Kirkland over here, that they're playing amazing hockey, man. They're playing amazing hocky. Oh my God. Okay. You know what?
Honestly, I think even when he's playing 5-on-5, he looks good. He's rushing the puck up, good chips. Damn, this team, all they do is dump and change, man. It's an New York Islander style of hockey. It's annoying.
Well, if you're also speaking of Justin Kirkland, he's also really good in a shootout because no goalie can figure out that he's doing the exact same move in 3 games and 3 shootouts. He did the exact same move and scored 3 for 3. Can you please explain to me how no one figured this out yet about this guy? I love it. I love it. Don't take this in a harsh way, Justin Kirkland, if you ever see this. But please, like, how did they not figure that out?
He's
It's
done a good job,
mind-boggling.
man. I think it's understanding like the positioning of the goalie, and is that not the hardest spot in the body for say to save is between
Oh, right
glove
between the glove
and
and he
the arm.
figured it out to a key, man. He figured it out to a key where exactly he has to put the puck on the
It's
glove
tough,
side.
dude.
Oh
But
my god, I literally just found a freaking video showing 3 clips of him doing the exact same move in 3 different games. What
I
the
was
heck?
gonna say in my head, I'm like, you can play those videos and they look identical. Point proven.
Point
But hey,
proven.
another point. That's another positive. Look, 28-year-old player who hasn't really found his stride to get into the NHL finally gets a shot, and look, if he gets sent down, I'm gonna be so mad because like he has no reason to be sent down. He's actually playing with a good tenacity. He's actually a good fourth line grinder. Him and Lomberg seem to have a decent connection. And Rooney,
Rooney on that joint too, actually.
yeah, right. So that's looking pretty good. I think that it sucks that listen, it sucks that Math is injured. I hope he's better, but it's like now that Math is injured, like that leaves room to play around. Now Coronado can stay and he can be happy and keep going. And it's so like it's all kind of seemed to
Get actual second line minutes.
But yeah, like end of the day, yeah, good for Kirkland. He's a fan favorite, man. Like being in the dome when you hear his name, dude gets like loud cheers. Like he gets louder cheers than some like I think the loudest is Dustin Wolf right now.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But yeah, no, Kirkland's a favorite, man. He's great. So yeah.
Well, to give you some stats on him right now, in 18 games, he has put up 2 goals, 6 assists for 8 points on the season, and has a plus-minus of 7. So he's been proving himself very well, and he's probably just waiting for Costco on that sponsorship deal, my boy.
Slap it right by the Play Alberta patch, eh?
Why not? Like his last name's Kirkland. Freaking one of the biggest brands at Costco is Kirkland signature. Like it just it makes so much sense.
Listen. CSEC, Calgary Sports Entertainment. If you're listening to this right now, this is what you have to do. You need to do a thing. The Flames score first, you get a free Pizza 73. No one cares about Pizza 73. If we can get a free chicken strip basket from Costco, then yeah, you'll be making even more money, you know? Like
if Justin Kirkland scores a goal tonight, you get a free Glizzard the next time you go to Costco.
Yeah, with the $1.50 hot dog, really well so far. Yeah, no, he's been fantastic. So it's been a pretty happy story. Yeah, it's all positive vibes around. You know, the vibes are immaculate, as Mac Weegar would say, around this team. So that's exciting. You know, positives. Bro, a Lomberg jersey would be kind of sick though. That dude is He's just that's a glue guy, man. He's funny. Personalities like that, man. That's no wonder. Like a locker room is so happy when you got a guy who's just like chirping everyone, you know, like.
Did you see that post-game interview where like it kind of the camera pans like over to the 2 guys interviewing Lomberg, and then it shows Lomberg just sitting there in his underwear, half naked, like, "Hey guys, what's up?" That's a gel guy right freaking there, just showing up in his undies for an interview after game.
Man, if I was that jacked, I'd be doing the same thing, man. I'd be making sure everyone knows that I'm hitting lateral raises about twice a day. Might as well just kind of look into like the future here of the next games before we turn to December. What we have here tomorrow, so today's the 24th as we speak. Tomorrow, these Sens, they play on Prime. It's only on Monday, and it's only on Prime. So that's happening at 5:30. You know, that's a team I think you can probably win as long as, Brady Tkachuk doesn't get in your skin and Allmark isn't Boston Bruin Allmark. Then you play the 27th. You play the Wings. Wings are a team. I don't really understand the Yzer plan anymore, but they're very 500.
Fair enough.
And you play the Jackets 1:00 on the Friday. I'm wondering if they do something for Johnny Hockey because both teams play. I would hope they do. So we'll see. That will be a good game as well. Seeing Monahan, seeing him playing some prime hockey is really cool. I think he's on pace for 30 plus goals this season.
Yeah.
He's a great player. When he's not injured, man, isn't it something to see all these players in the league that just, man, what could have happened if there wasn't injuries?
Yeah.
Monahan's a prime example. Like he could have probably 200 more points than he already has.
He already looks so good and so comfortable in Columbus too, and you've noticed that as he's probably playing first line center if I'm correct. So seeing that, like especially in Monahan, if we never traded Monahan to Montreal and kept the pick, like this would not have to be a worry. But imagine Monahan on a team like this right now as a center where we really need centers. But actually, as you speak of that, yeah, you're right. We do versus Columbus, and then you do versus Pittsburgh at the end of the month, and that brings us into December. So for the next 4 games, you could potentially see this team still keep up the win streak if everything goes right. Because, yeah, you're right. I could see a win against Ottawa, maybe potentially Detroit and Columbus and Pittsburgh. So this is all possible to go 8 straight wins. Just, does this team do it? Does the defense stay capable? Does Dustin Wolf and Vladar stay on their heads? That's a lot of questions. That's a lot of questions that needs answers. So I'm very curious how the team plays, but I think the main thing is our forwards need to keep scoring points because it's kind of unbelievable to hear that no Flames forward will be able to get 50 this year at the rate we're going. So hopefully that does change. And then before we kind of start wrapping up, there's 2 questions I do want to ask you, and it does involve the Flames lineup. So right now, as potentially going in against Ottawa, we have Huberdeau, Connor Zary, and Blake Coleman starting off first line. Sharon Govich, Backlund, and Matt Coronado as the second line. Pospisil, Kadri, and Kuzmenko is our third. Longberg, Kirkland, and Kevin Rooney is our fourth. I kind of want to hear your thoughts on this because seeing Connor Zary as our main center kind of looks nice. Like, it kind of fills it out perfectly. And it looks like he's getting comfortable and playing really well at center now. So any thoughts on that so far?
Well, I mean, it's working. And that's what matters. If it's working, just keep it going. Well, it's funny, I didn't even realize that. But yeah, Coleman and Backlund being split up like that, I don't think that happened until one of the media guys was asking Huska about it. That's funny, but I love it, man, because Zary it seems like he performs good when he has a little more responsibility, which I think is really good for a young player, man, because, I think some would kind of get nervous and maybe falter a little bit because of how much expectation they have from themselves. But I think Zary just taking a top role like that is working.
Yeah, you gotta love
it. You do it until it keeps working, and when it doesn't, you just keep mashing it up, because Huska will mash up these lines every 2 seconds. But hey, if it's working, it's working.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked to see Sharon Govich get switched with Coleman, because honestly, I think those 2 lines have been working so well, it's kind of shocking that you want to switch them. But keeping Backlund with Coronado will probably be your best bet, because Backlund will always perform well with a rookie, and that's what you would like to see. Seeing Kuzmenko and Kadri on the third line is weird to me, but they haven't performed that well, so hopefully this kind of tells them they need to step it up. And yeah, we love our fourth line. We gotta love the Kirkland, Lomberg, Rooney line. Oh, sorry.
My question for you is Kuzmenko trade bait come deadline?
Potentially, because if I'm thinking of Kuzmenko right now, he is on the last year of his contract, if I'm correct. Yeah, because he's on the last contract. Yeah, Kuzmenko doesn't exactly have a contract with us for next year, so he is potentially playing as trade bait right now if the Flames do start to decline personally. And yeah, I think that's a pretty good answer. I think Anderson alone is making a case that he's not trade bait anymore, like especially this season. No, I don't see it anymore.
Still a good age, man. This dude could literally be just coming out of his prime by the time this team, if all is well in the prospect pooling and development, he could just be one of those icing on the cakes for a team that could really make a splash. That's the
I really think you want to build your decor around 2 guys who are playing really good for this team right now, around Weegar and Anderson. Then you can kind of build off the bottom pairings with whoever you draft or whoever you sign in free agency, starting with Zane Parekh and going from there, right? So I'm very interested to see what the team does with that. And then one more question before we kind of wrap it up or whatever happens is, so we're looking at the Calder race right now. For
Yeah.
forwards right now, Michkov is leading it with 19 games played with 16 points. Logan Stankoven is right behind him with 19 points, other way around. Games played 19, points 15 points. And Lane Hudson from Montreal, the defenseman, has played 20 games up with 11 points. And then we also have Dustin Wolf with the stats I just said before. It's a pretty close race. Who do you think would take it right now as it is?
Man, I mean, so recency bias is tough because, like, right now, how well Wolf's playing, you'd want to say so. I think Wolf would the way he wins it. Flames make playoffs, and it's like, but it is kind of visibly known that the reason why the Flames are in this playoffs is simply because the goaltending is like amazing. A 924 plus save percentage or some disgusting goals against average.
Yeah.
It's tough, man, because it's goalies. It's tough for them to win this against a forward because Michkov probably wins it, but Stankoven's looks so good. What is he, top 3 in the Stars in scoring or something? If Celebrini, like, injuries are gonna plague him. But Celebrini himself, right? Like, he could still kind of come back if that's. I'm trying to remember what his.
So to answer your question about Stankoven, he's 4th on the Stars right now. Actually, funny enough, Matt Duchene's leading the team with 23 points in 19 games.
Wow, Duchene, what is this? 2016 Avalanche? Wow.
Not even Nashville.
Yeah, legit. I don't know, man. I want to say Wolf wins. I think he's just played so freaking well, but I just don't know if it'll happen. You know what I think though? Flames make playoffs. How is Huska not a Coach of the Year candidate? How is he not a Jack Adams candidate?
That is facts, actually.
Like it's demeanor, man. Like, he's a different sort of coach, and it's working really well. Like, he's almost. Not that he's like a player's coach. Like, you can tell he's chill with the boys and stuff, but it's not like he's that. I don't know. You know what he reminds me of? Like a disappointed dad, where it's like, if you were to come home, too late, maybe you're not in the best mindset. Your dad's looking at you, and he's like, you just know you're in trouble, right? And
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
You just silence speaks. I think that's the answer there, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah. I kind of like that with him. But to answer my kind of question before, so I think the top 2 right now, or the top 3 right now, is between Michkov, Stankoven, and Wolf. And I think Wolf, non-biased, I think Wolf would take it right now because of the impact he's taking on games. Because when you're 3rd in the league in save percentage, and you've played a good hefty amount of games by now, that shows that the team is winning off of you. And I don't see that with Michkov because he became he was a healthy scratch at some point this season already. And then Stankoven, you can make the case since he's 4th on the team already at such a young age. But Wolf it's harder for a goaltender, man. You are in all game, and the game is kind of decided on you a bit if you can perform well. So I would definitely say Wolf is the best candidate to win the Calder so far. And then to answer the question about Ryan Huska with the Jack Adams, if the team gets pushed to playoffs, I think he deserves it. And I think it's also because he's just been in this organization for so long, because he started off in the AHL as an assistant, went to head coach, went to assistant head coach in the NHL, and he's just went through the whole ranks in the organization. And he actually did so well at growing his own coaching ability and finally got that experience too. So seeing that from him is awesome to see, that you can develop that well in an organization and then come out and be one of the best coaches in the league so far. So round of applause.
Yeah,
good job, Huska.
I was thinking this too, actually. Like, they definitely in the organization trust Huska, because I remember when Sutter would sometimes let other coaches speak. He just kind of did that. Sometimes the goalie coach, Jason LaBarbera, would do it, but Huska would actually do a few of them too. He's always been so well spoken, and I think that it's just kind of just rubbed off. So That's a good sign. Nice thing too about Wolf, he's getting like national wide attention. Like people, the media is talking about him, and then like now the popular way of getting information is like this YouTube content and stuff like that. People are making videos on Wolf. They're like, this guy is good. It's like, yeah, I
love
know.
it.
So and I think it's probably good that he has a little bit of adversity. Or he's too small because I think he seems to work well off that. But it's nice knowing that because when's the last time the Flames have had a player that's been talked about like this? Long time, man. Long time. So,
Quite a few years.
it's really nice kind of having that. And we'll see, man. They play the rest of November, come right into December, and see, hey, if they can keep this up until Christmas time. Exciting stuff.
Sure. Also, the last thing I'll mention is you also got to realize, too, Huska was learning under Sutter, too. That's an experienced winning coach right there. So if that doesn't say a lot, I don't know what does. But hey, guys, that has been Flames Talk today. I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you do, like it, comment, and please subscribe. We're doing so well across all boards. We'd love to see it. We just appreciate you if you hit that follow button. And you know what? Comment what you think. T-Dog, I'm going to let you wrap it up for this Flames Talk.
Okay, well, thanks, guys, for listening and watching, however you were consuming. Question of the day for ya. Yeah. Is Dustin Wolf a Calder candidate? Does he win it? And Huska, is he a Jack Adams candidate? I guess we'll see. Hey, guys, anyways, stay warm. Hopefully your winter tires are on, and keep on learning how to drive properly in this winter weather here. It's a little chilly. Hopefully the ODRs are getting back out there, so that's exciting stuff. And hey, we'll see you guys in the next one. Go Flames go. And hey, remember, Monday Night Hockey, it's only on Prime. It's only on Monday, and it's only on Prime. All right. See you guys later. Have a good one. Take care.
This is not sponsored by Prime.
We're not sponsored by Amazon. No.